I know, yeah. Yo, welcome back. Godzilla podcast, episode 5. I think we're at. First, we always kick it off by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, which we get to, hang out and do this podcast on, and pay respects to elders, past, present, and emerging and in the future. So, big shouts. Secondly, this is a bit of a weird one. I sort of wanted to go into it just a little bit, but big shout out to Ted Attic, man, and Sip Supplies. The homies actually linked us up with a whole bunch of fucking really dope drinks. And this is the reason why I wanted to give it a bit of a prop was because they reached out, man, saw what we were doing. It's all about fucking connecting and just showing love. So, man, if you got a minute, jump up and follow that Sip Supplies. Big shout out to Split Adams on the beat. I've got to give him a yell. And also just want to mention, man, out of respect for all the shit that's going on in the States, I've got friends and fams over there. It's a bit tough, and we got to just keep pushing through, and big up to like all the people of color that are trying hard to get the message across at the minute, and fucking sometimes hitting a bit of a road. We're here supporting you as well. It's been guests in the culture of hip hop, and we want to pay respects to all the people out there that paved the way, and the people that are doing it tough. And big shout out to the indigenous, man, especially in our country that still to this day just can't get a break. And again, we're here supporting you. Look, I want to get into it. I know it was a bit of a lull, but geez, I managed to get a fucking big homie on the podcast, man. I'm fucking so stoked to have you here, bro. T-Wreckz.
What's going on, brother?
Bro, it's a bit weird on the left hand. Fucking I just want to touch that ice. I think I took a ring right there. Yeah. But yeah, also, the vibes. Wait, okay, this is yours, bro. That's
much love.
That's the hoodie.
Cheers, bro.
We've got a sneaky one there as well for another special guest. So that's
Hang on, let me just plug this properly for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the podcast shit right there. Godzilla podcast. Man, much love for coming down.
I was about to say the same thing. Much love for having me roll through, bro. You stole the words right out of my mouth, my brother.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do. But you've seen a couple of the podcasts, man. Like these are really about wins and challenges that we have as fucking artists coming up and that. And I like to talk to cats that I know have had experience and fucking might not be just in the limelight and shit. It's a lot of shit that particularly goes on behind the scenes. Like a lot of cunts don't know about you and people that you know and things that you've seen and things that you've done, and I want to talk about that.
Definitely seen a lot of shit.
Bro, we've had some stories, but we'll see. We won't get into all of them tonight. First of all, bro, for the people that don't know, Rexy, where'd you grow up, bro, and what area you repping?
I grew up from the Central Coast. I was born in Gosford Hospital. And I've moved around a fair bit. Moved up north, Tweed Heads.
Damn, I didn't know. When was Tweed?
Yeah, Tweed Heads. Yeah, Coolangatta with me mum and that. Yeah, moved up there for a little bit. Lived in Yamba for a while.
Holy fuck!
But my roots have always been Central Coast. Yeah, like my nan's always stayed in the Central Coast, and when me and mum we ventured off and did our own thing for a little while, and we'd always come back, and now we're back there. We're back on the coast and doing our thing.
It's crazy because I mean I've always known you as a Central Coast dude, and Nui and up around them areas, Yeah. It's sort of a weird spot as well, bro, because like even back in the fucking Fig Kid days, like I did a few shows up in like Newcastle, and there was a fucking big graph scene up there.
There's a huge graph scene up there, yeah.
And the culture was hectic up there still.
Yeah.
So for you coming up, like, what was your first, I don't know, like introduction to hip hop and fucking rap?
It's funny that actually, because like I first started getting into music, like hip hop and that in like primary school.
True.
And like I remember like pumping like albums like Fort Minor, The Rising Tide.
Fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
No, I've only been shook about meeting one cunt, and it was Mike Shinoda.
I swear to God, I was stoked when I met what was it, DJ Total Eclipse, because I knew that he did that like one song,
The Executioners
the
track.
Executioners track with like Mike Shinoda.
Executioners.
and
Farrah Monch?
Yeah, I did a few little shows with him, and I was like, what was M Shinoda like? Like, bro, he's definitely one of my favorite MCs. I think, to be honest, one of the first real songs that made me kind of really fuck with hip hop, funnily enough, isn't even really much of a hip hop song, but it was "In the End" by Linkin Park. With the rapping breakdowns, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It starts with one thing. I don't know why.
I think it's because the raps are pretty easy to go along with.
No, I fucked with that.
And the beats are heavy.
And then I started doing it when I was at a young age, trying to get into it, and I linked up with a few people that at the time were obviously, I don't know how long they'd been doing it for long, but like Northie and all that, like he helped me out. And
Jeff knows Northie as well.
And actually, he actually showed me your shit. And then once I started listening to your shit, I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like, yeah.
Locally,
I fucking I'm not gonna lie, I fucking definitely jacked your CDs off LimeWire back in the LimeWire days and that. And
big props, shout out to LimeWire to keeping me relevant at some stages.
I remember pumping that and what is Fig Kid? I used to love that. And then fucking trying to think of what else I used to listen to. Obviously like Eminem. But I think Fort Minor was probably one of my big.
That's dope, man, and that's I love doing the podcast for these reasons, because like a lot of people, like, they'll listen to fucking maybe where you've ended up as an artist, but it's not necessarily where your fucking roots come from, you know what I mean? And that's what's so dope about it. What about, I suppose, because locally, like in Nui, obviously for myself, I had a bit of exposure with the label shit, but like, were there any real, like, what was it like coming up in hip hop in the Central Coast? Because, I don't know, who were the prominent?
For me, like, when I started doing music, like, I recorded my first song with Northie, actually, for that fact, in primary school. So like, legit, like, when I started doing music, like, music wasn't even a thing for me. Like, really, it wasn't a big thing. Like I remember seeing your shit popping like on like MTV and like all that. But like, as far as like people like in the area rapping, it was like, what do you want to rap for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it was like, and there was no scene. There was no, like, as far as I know, like, I was probably one of the only people that
in
were
your area,
in my area, that was trying to do it. And don't get me wrong, back then when I was first starting, like, I listened back to my old shit and it's like, it was whack as fuck.
Don't go looking for T-Wreckz's OG shit.
I put a lot of that shit on private, so.
Bro, we all start from there, bro. Trust me. The ABC raps, you know what I mean? Like,
It wasn't even that. It was like, there's this whole like, I don't know, like, conception of where it's like, you gotta rap Aussie, you gotta rap like, you know what I mean? Fucking, you gotta have that bogan, like, and it's like, I don't try to sound American in my music at all now, but it's like, when I first started rapping, it was like, it was overly bogany, do you know what I mean? And it was like so monotone, there was no like, So
even though you were American influenced,
I knew that it was like kind of frowned upon in the Aussie scene to like try and sound.
Where'd you get that info from? Because that's a bit of a weird thing. Like, just to be real with you, like, it's sort of like, well, who tells you if there's no real cats around in Nui?
This was like, so obviously when I did my song, my first lot of music, I was like in primary school. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't know. You know what I mean? So I was like, everyone said that I was too young, like full rap and like trying to sound like American. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I stopped for ages, and then I started back up again when I was like 16, and I went to a couple places to record who they help. This will supposedly help young people off the streets. So I'm not gonna. I'm not.
Shit! Here we go.
I'm not gonna plug them. I'm not gonna plug the people. But there's a few good cats that work for this organization. But and then yeah. So like I was doing that for a while, and it was like it was more Aussie, and like I wanted to sound more like
yourself.
Me.
Yeah.
But then I stopped for ages, and then like did nothing with it, and then like got to a point, I think I was like 18, 19, 20, and I was like fuck, this is probably like the only really good thing I'm good at doing, do you know what I mean, that I need to like invest my time in. And then I started like reaching out and trying to like find other people who were like-minded and were like doing shows. I reached out to Izzy. Izzy's what the man. Shout outs fucking Izzy.
Big shout out to Izzy,
Love
man.
Izzy, but yeah, friggin' he was like, and it wasn't even his really. It wasn't really his whole persona of like, oh, you have to sound a certain way, but he kind of more or less was like, look, a lot of people don't like it if you like in the scene if you try to sound like something you're not, and it made total sense to me. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's a big thing. It's got to make sense to you to really make you fucking, I think, respect it.
So it wasn't him saying like, you know, like, oh, if you
Don't
try
do
to rap American, it was more or less like he kind of like showed like he gave me the rundown. You know what I mean? He helped me too. Like we've like getting on. He put me on some of my first. He put me on my very first show.
Where was that at?
That was at Tattersalls in Penrith. The Tattersalls.
Oh shit!
There was just like an open mic.
Tattersalls in Penrith got a shout a couple of weeks ago. What was that for?
But like shout outs them because they were getting sponsored by Alizé, and I was like fucking getting litty as fuck off that.
That's how they keep you, bro. They just keep you fucking pumped with the drinks.
They started off giving me like 5 or 10 tokens, and I ended up with like 20, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, fuck, I want to be a rapper forever. Fuck.
Yeah. This is my first foot in the door. If this is what it's gonna be like, I'm killing it. Free drinks.
Man, shout out to Izzy. But that's funny, man, because Izzy's always been a West dude.
Yeah.
So how did you guys make that connect?
Fuck, to be honest, no, actually, I do know. Through this organisation, which
because he does youth work as well.
Which I won't plug because I don't think they deserve it. But anyways,
there's some shonky cunts out there, isn't
there? There was a guy that worked for him, and I reached out to him, and I was like, bro, I've been working, like, and for me, like, I reached out to these people as a youngin', like, as well as like, 19, 20, and all I wanted to do was like record. Like I wanted to do it, and I like pretty much had the door shut in my face, kind of thing. Like
they did the Rexy fucking.
No, so I found another way to do it, and I found another studio just down the road, and started spending my money there and getting it done, and then once I started having enough content there to like kind of put together a live set, I reached out to this person that I met previously, and I was like, yo, who can I hit up in the scene to try and like get shows? Like I want to do shows. I want to like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then I met Izzy, and Izzy pretty much told me straight up, like, you know, you need to come out and meet people, otherwise you're not gonna fucking, you know what I mean?
That's mad guidance though, bro, because like it's like you can be talented as fuck, but if you're rapping to yourself in your bedroom, like who cares?
That's exactly right, yeah. And then
props to Izzy, bro.
And then that went well for a while. Like I enjoyed doing the shows and that, but like it just, like for me, it kind of got to a point where it was like I felt like it was too much. It was me investing too much time into doing shows that weren't really gaining traction for me, if that makes sense. No diss to anyone, but like
no, like you're right. Like if you do the same fucking show,
and
day in and day out to the same fucking crowd and the same bunch of 20 people
and the same fucking venue, and it's
like you got to get it around.
It's like rappers rapping to rappers,
rappers rapping about what's happening rapping.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's what it was, and then like I just took a step back and did my thing, and then I linked up with a DJ who a well-known DJ who I'm not going to mention as well, but yeah, he
fucks up half of my questions. Bro, listen, okay, I'm going to talk about, okay. So after Izzy, so who was the other notable, who's another notable?
Well, I linked up with a cat named Lopez, Victor
Lopez, yep. Because
which held it down, which he, look, I'll give him respect in a sense where, like, look, he held it down for a long time. Like, he did help me, and he did, like, you know, like, he did offer me a lot of guidance and, like, help me with a few things and that, but...
How did it transition, but, and, like, with all, you know, all due respect to the Sitch and all that, but, like, you know, you're plugging down one lane with, you know, with Izzy.
Yeah.
And then you got to expand. So, like, I'm just trying to think from, like, a young cat's mentality because, you know, like I said, bro, I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing that I've sort of noticed about you as well is you're pretty self-motivated, you know, you wake yourself up in the morning, bro, irrespective of what the fuck's going on in your life.
Yeah.
And so how did you transition to be like, all right, cool, well... I've knocked on this cunt's door and I've been in touch with Izzy and I've sort of exhausted that and you still got mad love for Izzy and you always had his back.
Always gonna have mad love for Izzy. Always.
So how do you transition to like maybe hooking up and meeting someone like Lopez and doing shows with him?
Funny thing is he at the time, I don't know if he still is, he was a big stoner and he needed weed and he needed a studio and I had a studio and then he heard my music and he's like, yo, do you want to come on the road with me? And then I went on the road with him. The first tour I did with him was with Spice One.
I remember.
Yeah, Spice One. You remember that? You remember that shit? You remember that shit?
But didn't you guys hear the kangaroo?
That was before. That was after. I think that was before or after. And I remember joking with Spice One too, because Spice One's from the States, and he's telling me like stories of like how he used to like have to like duck down in his house from flying bullets coming through the window. And I'm like, yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that over here. You just got to worry about flying kangaroos flying through the window. You know what I mean? Like,
bro.
Yeah.
I heard that story and it fucking floored me.
If Lopez can still hire a car from any hire car agency now, I would be very fucking surprised.
But
because that's not.
But surely that's like on the insurance. You can't tell me.
I don't think
acts of God.
I don't think he thought or bothered or wanted or maybe wanted to pay for the insurance. I think he cheapskated his way out and fucking. Anyways, that's a whole other can of worms.
Big shout out to Vic.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So look, that's another thing that was crazy, right, for me.
Crazy, yeah.
Because here's you, sort of up and comer. And I actually think, did we first meet? Was it? You said it was at
It was at Annandale.
Because we knew each other already by the time there was that show. Did Mark put it on?
I've never done a show with Marcel.
No, I know that, but I'm saying was that and is that Lewisham?
The miggity. Nah.
But was that Lewisham?
Nah, I think I might have bumped into you. I think I might have called in there and you were there. Yeah, you were there doing a show. I'm pretty sure like a few of the Sea Boys were there.
Yeah.
And I rolled through. Yeah, I rolled through to see like the Seaver and that. Shout outs to Seaver.
Shout out
Smilist. Fucking rest in peace, Skeppers.
100%.
Fucking yeah.
Big shout outs to the crew. But what I was gonna say was, I remember talking to Izzy, and I remember Izzy telling me about you.
Yeah.
That he was working, like, I've got this new kid.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing he said to me, bro, it stuck with me, bro, and to this day I love it, right? He's like, he looks like the biggest fucking lad, right?
Yeah.
But when he fucking raps, he doesn't rap the way he looks. And I was like, then I saw you and I was like, fuck, that is like the description.
Yeah, I know. It's like fucking judging a book by
True to the life.
Motherfucker, come on, man.
But he said it with like he was about the skill. He was like, yo, this cunt's skilled, you know.
100%. And that means a lot coming from someone like Izzy. Like he's a pioneer. Like he's been doing this for a long time too. Like I feel like he doesn't get enough props for the work ethic he has and how much he's put into the scene, because he's constantly putting on shows and he's always like doing shit for other artists and helping up and coming artists get a leg up. So like I feel like he needs more props for what he does, straight out.
Yeah, bro, and Hustle and Flow is just fucking constant.
I love, I got mad love for Hustle and Flow. Like that was
Shout out to Nige.
That was where I met Izzy properly, face
really?
to face. And like he goes, because when I hit him up for the shows, he's like, well, I got a cypher that I do, open mic cypher that I do, blah 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 blah. Roll through, and I'm like, yeah, but like, is it a show? Like, I want to do a show. And he's like, look, if you got to come through and meet people before you can just get. And then he heard me do my thing on the open mic.
True.
And then that night he goes, I've got a spot for you on this show the next night at Tattersall's. So
wait, so you're from Nui?
I'm from Central Coast.
So this is Central Coast, right? This is the hustle, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to like reiterate here.
Yeah.
So T-Wreckz, for cunts that are like going like, oh, but it's too far. T-Wreckz is going to from like Central Coast
to Redfern
to jump on a fucking cypher.
Yeah, just to jump on a cypher
at Hustle and Flow, to then be put on and fucking get to a fucking show at Penrith the next day.
And I did that, yeah. And then
That's big props, bro.
And then the weekend after that was my first actually booked show. Was Hip Hop at the Crown.
Yo.
And that was where I met Big Red Cap.
Holy shit!
Shout outs Big Red Cap.
Big shout out Big Red Cap. What? Because you did jump.
Yeah.
You did a track with Losty and Big Red Cap.
Yeah, I did a track with them recently too. Shady Pass, fucking one of my favorite. That's a dope track.
Speaking of underrated fucking people, that whole Losty and Big Red Cap thing, I think it's
crazy.
It's just not seen enough.
There's a lot I could talk.
Yeah, I talked to Big Red Cap. I got to note that down because I got to hit him up.
Yeah, Deceiver's one of probably the biggest ones that I reckon slept on for talent. Like he's fucking. He's phenomenal with his...
spoke to Deceiver. We got to get him on here as well. Because you're fucking absolutely right. But I fucking BRC.
If Deceiver's watching, bro, I've been reaching out to you a fair bit lately, man. Hit me back up, bro, because want to make sure everything's all good there, cuzzy, and hope you're well, bro.
100%, bro. But I wanted to say, like, going from like up and coming, like you're pretty up and coming, like you're getting a bit of a groundswell, but then bang, you're fucking touring with internationals.
Yeah, that was dope.
And for me, one thing that I've noticed, because I've been to the States, and like I fucking some of my like fucking close family, like American people, and the culture there is strong. It's fucking strong. It's real. It's legit. It's not like
it's in their blood. It's in their blood.
It's in their blood. Here you'll be like, oh, I rap, to be like, oh yeah, fucking wiki, and you're like, no, that's a DJ, but whatever. But over there, it's like, it's real. So for you would have been immersed all of a sudden from like up and coming and trying to be taken serious by Australian MCs and jumping on ciphers to like, bang, man, in a short fucking period of time, you're touring with a fucking OG in rap, getting like this knowledge, like how was that, and like what did you take from that tour?
That was crazy. That was like. I don't know. It was so surreal because it was like, and like I've done a fair few of these sort of tours too. Like I've done Bone Thugs.
Now you have, now you've got fucking a belt of it, bro.
Yeah, but like it's just so cool when you meet them and you're with them and you find out like they don't like it makes it so much more better when they don't have like this whole diva aspect, like you
egos.
know what I mean? Like
they're on the hustle as well.
There's no ego. They're just normal people and like. And they can sit down and talk to you and give you proper guidance too, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, in saying that too, like for me, at that time in my life when I was like, whoa, like I'm on the road now, like I'm fucking going to Melbourne, I'm going to fucking Cairns, I'm going like fucking like all these places, doing all these crazy shows. I was like, I thought that was going to be like a pivotal point in my career where it was like, now I'm going to start getting noticed. But like, it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? It definitely gives you a lot of like insight, and it gets you like, how do I say it? Like it definitely helps with your confidence and stuff, and like
because you could hold it, bro. Yeah. And they were giving you props for those shows.
Yeah.
They were like, yo, you can fucking flow.
Yeah, 100%. But it definitely didn't help with my trajectory of my career at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I think sometimes
not like I thought it would. Anyways,
I think it's true because, some people associate getting down with like some American cats and particularly some OGs in the game and, like getting some gems and knowledge, and you think other people are going to view that and say, like, oh, fuck, level of prestige. But if anything, cunts are just like, fuck, whatever.
Yeah, fuck this cunt. He got the support slot and we didn't. Motherfucker, who's he? He came from nowhere.
Fuck off, cunts. T-Wreckz was building. He just fucking had a right conversation before you did, all right? So relax.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you a funny story, bro. I don't know if you heard this one.
Yeah, okay. Shoot
It's got to do with Spice One.
Yeah.
And Easy E's son.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I got it. So Jeff knows this.
I think I know this story, but
so Jeff got a call. No, I got a call.
I think
Vic was like, "Yo, where are you?" I go, "I don't know, fuck wherever I was. Why?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, we're stuck at the airport.
Yeah.
They can't book our flight."
I know. And it was that Kaz. Was it that Kaz chick? Was that oh no, that was a different thing.
Bro. Okay, so I'm like, "Yo, we got the studio if you want to work."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah," because he's like, "I don't have money. I can't.
Yeah.
I didn't book a hotel because it wasn't on the budget." Right? So we had Spice One, and this is the hustle. Spice One, fucking Easy E's son.
Yeah.
Like literally sleeping in the studio, living in the studio for fucking 24 hours until they can get a flight the next day.
That's like body bag media shit. Motherfuckers camping there all the time. Might as well pitch a fucking tent.
Take a sleeping bag. Get comfy, guys. But anyway, it was hilarious. But it was crazy, man, just to see as well, like the fucking like not all shit's gonna go down according to plan. For
I mean, it sucks because you're an international artist and like that shit should have been sorted. But anyways,
here we are. So after the Vic shit, right? Because obviously props to Vic and you guys worked and it is what it is and you move on. Because ever since the Vic shit, you've been pretty solo. Like,
well, that's what I was gonna say too. At the Spice One show in Newcastle was where I linked up with Ty Kodik.
Big shout out to Ty. Wait,
big
what's his name now?
Ty Kodik. Ty Mason. Ty
Mercado. Ty Mercado.
Yeah. Shout out to Ty. Yeah. And that was where I finally got my foot in the door with being able to get my stuff produced properly, with obviously studio studio mastering, the video, the whole. He's a one-stop shop. You know what I mean?
Oh, bro. So you got real tight with Ty.
Yeah,
for a minute there.
Bro, me and Ty are still tight as fuck.
Bro, Ty's the fucking man. Ty's another let's talk about cunts.
He's one.
Let's talk about people that he's pretty much one of the only Newcastle guys that I know that fucking brings his own mic. Right? Like that guy is not with anybody else's microphone.
That motherfucker's been predicting this coronavirus shit fucking well before its time. This motherfucker's an alien from outer space. This guy knows the go.
He's in Sydney now.
Yeah, Newtown.
Yeah, bro. Massive shouts to Ty because that cunt, right?
I think I've done over 40 videos with Ty Kodik.
What?
And I think I've got over probably 20 or 30 unreleased tracks that I've recorded with him.
All right, so we need to hit up Ty. We got 3 EPs coming from Ty Mercado, produced by Ty Mercado, fucking, T-Wreckz, and we'll call it The Beginning, and I'll be the executive producer.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mad, done. But transitioning then to solo then, so Ty then had a massive boost to you, sort of starting to get your head around, all right, fuck, I could just do this shit by myself.
Yeah. Well, I had the hustle. I had the hustle at the time.
But you always had the hustle, then it started getting directed.
I had the hustle with the music, but at the time I had the hustle with being able to invest money into getting somewhere with it. You know what I mean? Because this shit ain't free. You know what I mean? A lot of people just expect
a
people
handout
that don't understand, that aren't artists and that are fans and no disrespect, but they don't realize that it's a process to going into producing a song. You know, you got to fucking write. You got to find the right beat. You got to write the song. You got to record the song. You got to either, if you're not doing it yourself, you got to send it off for mixing, mastering. Then you got to fucking wait for that, and then you've got to like organize the clip, and then you got to wait for the edit. This shit takes a long time. You know what I mean? So it's like, but like I already had that work ethic where I was like, okay, I want to keep going, but all that shit costs money.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
And at the time, like, it wasn't really as much of a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
I was more than happy to pay for someone that knows what they're doing and was delivering the goods.
And it's good, yeah. It's good what they're doing.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm paying some Joe Blow to fucking stand there with a fucking iPhone 6 camera and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's how that happened. But
was that like a rough? I don't want to say a rough transition because I don't think it was a rough transition, but was that a transition that was sort of tough? Like you've just come off touring and you're fucking doing all this glamorous
glamorous
shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're fucking like thrust into be like, no, can't, you got to do it all by yourself.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I feel like I got to see the rewards that come from all these other people's hustle.
Yeah.
And it made me want to get it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like now, like I'll tell you now, I'm not where I want to be just yet. I'm fucking getting there,
yeah, fucking oath you are.
But it's like now, like then I was happy to be the support artist, and I still am if it's for someone that I really fuck with.
Yeah,
but,
straight up.
But now my whole mentality towards it is like, I want to be the headline. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to do it, and I want to put all my team, all my boys that I fuck with, on that shit, and like, you know what I mean? Like that's how I'm trying to run it now. So that's where the mentality switched and kind of like shifted for me. I realized that you need to put the work in to get that, I guess, stature or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
I think for you, because I know that you have a high expectation of yourself. Like I know that as a fucking like a man to man and as an integrity.
Yeah.
An integrity piece, and I'll talk a bit about that later, and how our history, but
yeah.
How has it been? Because now you've changed that. You've even gone further on that, right? Like one thing I've noticed for you, transition wise as well, you've gone from cool, being there and making sure you've worked on the craft. Cool, you put that time in, and that's gotten you one foot in the door. Then you've gone the next step to be independent, and cool, you're laying the money down to be like, I know what needs to be done, so I'm cool to pay for it.
Yeah.
Now you're taking it to another level, and you're going like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Rather than put the money down, I'm going to be paying in my time to understand that process. Because in a very short period of time, what I've noticed as well with you is you're getting these fucking hectic collabs, shit like the shit with Rops and yada yada.
Yeah.
You're, we did a track obviously that a few people would have seen that was awesome for me to see.
I was checking the stats and that's like 4K already. That's dope.
Which is more than my fucking shit that's been out for 6 months. So big shout out to T-Wreckz and like helping my career. But
it's not where we want to be, but it's there.
On the way. But the dope thing is like, how's that transition now and how are you feeling about, because bro, like just for cunts that don't know, because this stuff doesn't get talked about, like, and we'll talk a bit more about this because, you brought your bro Jai. Big props to Jai. We'll get him in a bit, but you're mixing now, you're mastering, you're fucking shooting your clips, you're uploading, you're doing your socials, you're you're doing the fucking color grading, you're taking the photos, you're doing the top to the bottom. And cool, maybe we're not talking about Spotify playlists, maybe we're not talking about blah blah blah, but what you're building now is fucking hectic as a brand for yourself. Like,
definitely.
How do you feel in terms of being in control, and is it more rewarding than fucking maybe before putting that money down?
I think it's a lot more rewarding for me, and it's put me in a position where, because I remember when I first got the chance to work with Ty, how gassed I was that I was getting my music looking spick and spammed. You know what I mean? Like, and like when I every time I would get a track and a video back off him, I'd be like, fuck yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So like knowing that I can now do that for other up and coming artists that are kind of like, you know, trying to get their shit out.
Yep.
For me, that's like, it's rewarding in that sense. And definitely having more control over what I want to do with my music. Like, obviously still when I would do stuff with other people, I would still kind of have a say in how I wanted it to turn out at least. But having more control for me is definitely like, I find it more rewarding because it's like I'm starting from absolutely like nothing, like just this shit on the table, like you know, like you're like nothing, like there's nothing, you know what I mean? And
I know there's nothing, but you know, say it into the mic.
like,
but yeah, there's nothing. I mean? You're building from scratch.
I'm literally exactly. Like there's nothing. Like I'm starting from having absolutely nothing to creating something out of it. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
So for me, that's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's very rewarding because like I could be just sitting around not doing anything. You know what I mean?
You're bro. You're one of the guys that call me and be like, "Yo, we doing it?"
Yeah.
And then you call me.
Shit? Yeah.
You call me the next day. Yo, I've done my part. Have you done your part?
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Yeah, all right, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right." But then you keeping others on their toes about it as well.
Yeah.
That's what fucking people need to do as well.
Yeah. That's
Hold
it.
other people accountable for their
That's
lifestyles.
right. Like if they want to do it, they can do it. They're more than welcome to. And if not, like just yeah, do their thing, bro. You know what I mean? Like so, but definitely like yeah, nah. I feel like it's one of them things where I am creating something from nothing, and it's helping people in the process too because like me with my music, like there's such a large array of like different sorts of content that I put out. Something might be like, you know, I got my flex tracks like where like I'm flexing on cunts, you know what I mean, like and laying them bars down, and then I've got deep and meaningful ones where I'm like I'm at my lowest of lows and fucking just let it all out and let people know, like, you know what I mean, like I don't even know, you know what I mean, like yeah, you know what I mean, but like just I guess if someone listens to it, they can relate to it and say, fuck, well at least I'm not the only person that's feeling this way.
Yeah, straight up.
You know what I mean?
Fucking oath. What about one thing I noticed about your style as well, right, is that you know you're actually pretty relevant, and this is why I think maybe Izzy really fucks with your style as well. You're sort of old school sometimes with the flow as well. I mean, you fucking actually catered pretty well to what's current too, but you know, is that a conscious thing or it's just fucking like natural? I don't know.
I mean, sometimes I'll be writing something and I'll be like, that's fucking whack.
Wait, what did you say before? Gunster said like
yeah, he's like yeah.
Wait, how was the words, bro?
My first video that I tried to do, he shout out Gunster, by the way. He's been the best mentor. He's helped me out so much. Like, fuck, I can't thank him enough. But he's straight up. The first video I had an attempt at doing. He's like, he goes, pull the brakes up, bro. That was actually pretty awful.
Fucking hey, you need to get checked sometimes, bro. Not everything you fucking shit's fucking gold, right?
Hey, but I tell you now, well, that's right. You can't polish poo, man. No. You know what I mean? But hey, I did a fucking pretty good job of trying to. Don't you worry. I was hoping there might have been a gold nug in there, but there wasn't. But no,
put that horse to rest, mate.
Ever since then, though, like he's showed me a few things, and I've understood like the dynamics that go into it, and like I've done my research, and like you know, and just watched a lot of other videos and how they're edited, and done like spent hours and hours and hours just trying to perfect my craft, and like I think the videos that I'm coming out with now are like you can definitely notice that it's like quality,
and it's now.
Yeah,
I think you still got a bit of a fucking old like a. I don't know. There's something like organic, like sort of like back in the day sort of vibe about your shit, but it's also very like current. The videos, the visuals, the fucking sound. You know what I mean? It's like it's two ways.
I've still got a long way to go. Like you're always gonna learn. There's always room for learning. But like I'm confident now that the content that I'm putting out is it's above board, and I feel like it's definitely It's definitely getting way slept on. It's getting slept the fuck on.
Fucking rap shit, eh? Like, yo, we're getting slept on, you motherfuckers.
No, we are, like straight the fuck
Listen,
out.
we rap better than a lot of other rappers that you're watching, I swear. And ask them that because they know that as well.
Yeah, that's why they don't share our shit.
They don't share.
Okay? All these cunts sharing each other's shit, gassing each other up is because...
Tucking each other's dicks off.
Yeah, it's because they know they don't want to share the real shit. You know what I mean? They don't want to share.
God bless them. No, we love you all. It's fine.
Yeah, God bless their cotton socks.
But in terms of the independent shit now and working with Gunster, because bro, there's a couple of people here that come through, and I've got to get Gunster in here as well. But you know, he's really with the whole one lane thing, working hard to develop.
Yeah, he's rebranded his whole thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So you know, how's it working with him? And like, you know, what do you get off him working as a solo artist and independent? And like, what does that inject into what you're doing?
Like at the moment, right now, like, see, at the start, it was like he was doing pretty much everything for me. Like from going from Tycotic to Gunster, just like there was no real reason why I did that. It was just like I still fuck with Ty. Like I'd love to get Ty to get some more do some more videos for me. Actually, I've got him doing some work for me at the moment. I spoke to him last night, the night before. Fucking nothing but love for him. He's a fucking top bloke. But Gunster was doing pretty much a lot of the stuff for me, like, because I was going there and I was recording, and then he was doing the clips and whatnot and that, blah, blah, blah.
He's like a real opportunist, hey? So, like, if you're there, you did some hectic shit, he'll be like, fuck it, let's just shoot a clip now.
Yeah.
And because he knows, like, just do it. Don't fucking wait.
There's no point driving back to the Central Coast and driving all the way back
when you can do fucking 2 or 3 things right there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But now that I'm doing a lot of pretty much, I'd say like 90%, nearly all of my stuff myself with recording, mixing, mastering, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing my clips. It's like, well, in my downtime where I'm not seeing Gunster, I'm recording.
Yeah.
And then I'm shooting my own clips. And then I've got like spare songs that need clips for that when I link up with Gunster, he's just like, we're not even doing studio time anymore. We're just doing videos. So it's like, at the moment now, like, I literally come from shooting a video tonight, today, and it looks sick. And I literally just dropped my own video, another video that my little brother actually done the whole edit by himself.
Yeah.
Just from watching and learning with how we do it. With the video I did with Muzzy called Nike Fit, which is a banger. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite videos at the moment. Go check it out. But yeah, so like, it's just giving me so much content. I'm like sitting on like an artillery at the moment. I've got like 3 unreleased video clips now, and I've got another song that I'm ready to shoot a clip for.
Joe, we got to work as well, mate.
Yeah,
I swear, I got stuff too. I swear to God.
He swears to God.
I got shit for you to shoot.
Allah, he's got heaps to do.
This is Kim, by the way.
Yo,
Kim
good.
always like politely tries to walk in, like maybe sometimes doesn't even walk in, sits in the car and watches the live, and then just goes like, oh shit, I can't go in yet.
Just to give an extra viewer.
But I told him we're up to 12.
Yeah. We've now got 2 viewers. And wait, am I viewing on mine?
Fuck. Nah. All right, wait.
Actually,
yeah, I'm viewing me now right now. Yeah, 14, 13 viewers. Fuck, someone logged out.
Shit,
anyway,
fuck. Get your ass back on here, boy.
All right, so. This one is like a bit more serious. I'm gonna fucking touch on this shit right here because, like, one thing for you and I, and one reason, like, to me, like, you're always the brother, like the bro. You know, like, and I don't say that lightly because you know
that word gets thrown around too much these days. And
bro, when people say bro, brother, this, that, like, you know, yeah, cool, like, I really, you know, I get it, but.
No, but you're a bro. You're one of the bros to me.
One of the bros, and like to give some context to that, like, you know, without going too crazy into it, but you know, I've been pretty public about like my battles with shit, you know, and you know, I had a time in my life where like, yo, because I've always been the guy that's been like. Nah, it's all right, man. Fuck, we can do it. This, that, blah, blah, blah.
Had
you know,
shit together.
I never really felt like what it was like to be fucking low, and for look. Because it was a pretty like hazy part of my life.
Yeah.
But I just remember being in this fucking shack down in Wentworthville. There's only a handful of people I remember having a conversation with.
Yeah.
And one of those people were you, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember talking about, it was crazy because, you know, there's a bit of an age difference between us, but then all of a sudden that age gap just really closed, and I couldn't rely on heaps of people at that time. And
maturity too, you know, maturity.
Straight up. Well, experience, you know, life experience. And,
that's right.
And I remember you speaking on this real level playing field with me, you know, and non-discriminatory way with regards to depression and mental health and shit, right?
Yeah.
And to me, bro, that means a lot, and that's why anytime, you know, you're like, yo, we're doing this, I'm just like, you fucking, yeah, we're doing this. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I always had mad love for you for that. And then what was real painful, I suppose, to see was, you know, fast forward a couple of years later, and, you know, we don't need to touch on it too hectic, but you know, the Deceiver launch and you know,
which was a really good night. I enjoyed that. That was a fucking sick night.
It was a crazy night.
I loved that night, man. That was a really good night.
It was, and you know, that really big high was obviously with a real Devo low the next day, and I actually remember chucking in the group chat just to check in because like I saw your post, you know, about your mum, and I was just like, I just was like, fuck, like at first I was like, oh no, like, oh, maybe it's not. And then you find out you know, it's real, and then you're like, okay. And then after that, man, like, you know, you fucking kept pushing, bro. Like, it was really crazy, man. How did you move from that and fucking stay up, man? And
well, for the viewers that don't know what happened, obviously, I'll touch base on that.
Yeah. Only if you wanted, bro. Like, you know,
like, obviously, well. As you know, and some of the viewers probably might know, and others might not know. My mum passed away the next day after the Deceiver launch.
Yeah.
And fucking definitely didn't expect that to happen, and that, but
it was just crazy, bro, because she was at the launch.
Like, she was there. That was like, I think that was like the highlight of her seeing me perform, because it was such a big crowd. Like, you know, she seen me kill it. She had a fucking mad night. Like, she had a really good night. It was just weird that the next day that happened. But yeah, so fucking, I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, like, it was a lot of mixed emotions. It was like, I kind of didn't want to rap. I didn't want to do anything. Like, I kind of like, but at the same time, I didn't have an option. I didn't have an option to be weak or to drop the ball, because I've got my little brother Jai. I've got 2 other younger siblings. Yep. I've got my daughter. I've got 2 daughters, but at the time I had one.
Yep.
And I had to really step up, I guess, and just be the man. And like, I couldn't show anyone that I was struggling with it as much as I would have really liked to, but yeah, fucking the music, I guess it come out in my music. A lot of the pain came out in my music.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I surprised myself even now to this day. Like, I've got a whole lot of other bullshit going on in my life that's probably enough to send a lot of normal people off the edge. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And but yeah, like, I feel like for me, like, I know it doesn't look like it now because of COVID-19, but the gym was a big thing for me. Like, I was training every day. I was just trying to, like, you know, release my energy in a positive way as much as I could, and I kind of tried to, like, block it out and just, like, let it out in my music as much as I could, but in real life, not think about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
straight up.
But yeah, I don't know. It helped me. It helped me push harder, I feel like, with my music, because I felt like it gave me something else to focus on.
Yeah. Like another motivation.
Well, not even motivation. It just gave me something to take my mind off the fact that I was grieving.
Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah,
and like, yeah. So
sort of like distraction, but not in a negative way. Like a positive distraction,
like,
positive
instead
focus.
Instead of like, you know, going and getting out and going on a bender. Or some shit, or fucking like.
Because people do that, bro.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, if you would have asked me before it happened, like, what would you do if you lost someone you cared about? I would have definitely said,
Bender.
I'm gonna write myself off, and like I'd probably be in a grave not long after him.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking oath. And people do that, bro.
I know that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. There's been times where it's like, fuck, like, I want to, you know what I mean? Like, I
you're teetering on the edge.
I want to see her again and that, but it's like at the same time, I've got my family. They need me. You know what I mean? So
100%,
like,
bro.
And knowing the pain that it's caused losing her for me inside myself. I can't speak for anyone else, but I know for a fact that it's caused a lot of pain for the rest of my family. I couldn't be I feel like I'd hate to be responsible for that sort of pain.
That for fucking earth, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
bro, 110%, bro.
Yeah.
That's, bro, and just massive love, man, bro, massive props. And
I just and touching on that subject too, like, I just want to publicly, like, I want to thank, like, anyone that reached out and actually genuinely was showing support in that time, around that time, and like, and obviously, like, we put the show on, you know what I mean, and the show was a success, like
the Are You OK show.
Yeah, that was
that was a fucking big turnout and a lot of support. And bro, it was crazy because when you made those calls, everyone was like,
yeah, done.
Yeah, like not even
everyone
question.
was down with that. So like, I just want to like go out of my way. I know I've thanked everyone individually and that, but like, yeah, like, seeing as we're talking about it now, like that meant a lot. You know what I mean? To know that I did have that much support in the scene, going through what I was going through.
Tough shit, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So.
Fucking oath.
Soldier on, bro, and that's it. Like, anyone that's lost anyone, like anyone out there that's lost any loved ones to whether it be cancer or suicide or anything like that, like, just the only thing you can do is just try and just soldier on, man, and just
focus on what you got.
Yeah, and cherish every moment you have with your loved ones, because like, any minute they could be gone, bro. You know
fucking
what I mean?
Earth, bro. Big ups, man. And then what was crazy as well after that was just so wild to me. I couldn't get my head around it. Was Skeppers after that. Was that the icing on the cake, or what? What's the deal?
The whole situation was, I was off social media for like a week, 2 weeks.
Yep.
Because I was getting like flooded messages, and like, no disrespect, but like, of people that like I don't even fucking hear from now. Do you know what I mean? Like, every Tom, Dick and Harry wanted to send their love and condolences, and I appreciate it, but it's like,
you needed time.
Yeah, and then not only that, it's like, it's coming from people that they're not there for you on a daily, or like even on a weekly or a monthly. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like kick you while you're down. It's like, like, they're trying to send their love and be nice, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I feel like it's a bit condescending, because it's like, bro, where were you when things were good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough, man. And they got right intent, but sometimes you got to block. You got to block it.
It's the right intentions, no doubt. Like, I'm not taking that away from it, but it was like a double-edged sword for me. So I had to like just disconnect from social media and that, and then I got a phone call off Sal, Maniac. And he's like, oh, bro, I've been meaning to come see you. Like, we were all meant to come see you this week. We wanted to check up on you and that, like, but it's just been so crazy with what's happened with Skeppers. And I was like,
so you didn't know?
I didn't know, no. I was off.
Well, you wouldn't have known, because even if you heard it in the news, you wouldn't have put two and two together. Because I actually heard of the story.
Well, I probably would have if I had social media. I deleted all the apps off my phone, but he had my number and he rang me, and then like, yeah, when I heard that, I just had a fucking huge breakdown. I was just like, that just like ripped the fucking stitches out of what I'd tried to stitch back together, and fucking, like, it just all felt fresh again. Like, I think it was 6 days.
It was something like,
it was less than
ridiculous.
It was 6 days. I'm pretty sure I can remember, and like, yeah, it was bullshit. Like, bullshit. That was the most fucked week. But we're all here still. And,
straight up, man.
And if anyone needs anything, like, just to have a chat, if anyone's feeling low, down, you know, always feel free to hit up my DMs. You know what I mean?
That's one thing about you, bro. Like, you fucking, you know, you talk the talk, you know. And, you know, RIP Skeppers, bro. Like, you know, big love to the whole Subsea crew, Deceive and that, and all the boys are struggling.
Subsea's like literally out of my like little thing that I do, are probably like the only like group, as I say group, like obviously, you know, I fuck with you and I fuck with like all, but as a group, like they're the only people that I've kind of accepted in as like part crew, kind of like family.
Yeah, like fam,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
They're like fam for me. Like,
Yep.
So like, I rep Subsea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
I always show love to Subsea. They're good cunts and fucking I got like utmost respect for all them boys. So
100%, bro. Speaking of respect and just fucking, you know, doing, you know, your thing. One thing I just wanted to talk about was, you know, we spoke about this a bit off air because I just want to make sure that it's not, you know, but you know, you're repping your club and you know, doing it proper and wearing it with pride, but you know, still just fucking, you're pushing through the bullshit and getting it done, man. Like,
shout outs Rebels MCs. Fucking shout out to all the boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's, you know, there's negative association sometimes, I think, with that shit. But man, you really do it with a fucking with pride, with integrity, and you don't do it. This is my view. You don't do it like a fucking cornball. Because like there are some cornball cunts that really rep it and be like, oh, this is me. But you're just like, that's part of me, and but it's not the only part of me. Sort of vibes.
I'm definitely 110% proud to be a part of the best motorcycle club in the fucking world. You know, a fucking like it's the best feeling for me, like, you know what I mean, knowing that I can, you know, do my thing and go for runs with the boys and fucking, you know, do our thing. The police are fucking making it very hard to just, you know,
live your life,
live a normal life.
Yeah, who can be a guy part of a club, just be a rapper? You know, who would have fucking thought it would have been so fucking difficult, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm not doing anything illegal by, you know, mixing and mastering people's songs. So if anyone needs any mixing and mastering done, just hit me up because, you know.
The only cunts doing it legal are the cunts are ripping people off.
Yeah, well.
With poor mixing and mastering, all right?
Yeah, poor mixing and mastering, yeah.
Listen, I wanted to talk about, and then next I'm going to bring this young man in.
Yeah.
YouTube. You wanted to know about YouTube, didn't you, Esky? Yeah. YouTube. How do you? I mean, look, you know, your YouTube's a funny one. Yeah. Because it's like you tap into some shitload plays.
Yeah.
So you'll do 100 and something thousand plays.
Yeah.
And you'll do, like, you might have 165,000, 180,000, whatever, and then you have 5,000.
Yeah.
And then you have fucking, you know, fucking 50, 60,000, and then you have fucking 7,000.
Yeah, I feel ya.
You know, how's it been for you navigating that fucking YouTube land? And
I feel like because like I'm dropping so much music, I feel like it's a little bit hard for everyone to keep up.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
If I spaced out my drops, like how I release my music more, then people would get wind of it and they'd fucking run it up a lot more.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of people, like, you know, they might tune in once a week and see what's new, and then they only see like the last track that I've dropped and not the 5 before that. You know what I mean?
Hey guys, I've just dropped 5 tracks this week.
And that's the thing. And here's the thing: like, I ain't doing it for the views. Don't get me wrong. Like,
you love the support.
I'd love my shit to fucking go viral. You know what I mean? But and it has to some point.
I think you can sort of say in our climate like that. They're fucking good numbers, bro.
It is good numbers. I looked at my channel, and mind you, like I got a shitload of videos on there, but like it was like I think my channels had like over 2.5 million views.
Yo.
Yeah.
Start from scratch, bro. That's fucking props.
Yeah, started from, and like that's no promo on my, like I've never paid for an ad on my YouTube. I don't even know how to. I used to promote Facebook and do like sponsored posts on Facebook and stuff, but never done anything on YouTube or Instagram. And yeah, like, so I feel like that's probably why the numbers vary a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like the songs are timeless. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting people messaging me saying like, fuck, I love Overdose. And like Overdose is 2 years old now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh fuck, I love you know, like Tragedy, like all these, and they're like old songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
they still relate.
Yeah,
they're still relevant.
people are still fucking with it. You know what I mean? So the songs that are sitting on like 5,000 now, maybe in a year's time they might be up in the 100Ks. Who knows? But at the end of the day, like, look, I'm just dropping as much music as I can because the fans want it.
Yep.
And the diehard fans and the solid fans that are subscribed and that are waiting for my drops, they run it up, they leave the comments, they show love, and fucking all the love does not go unnoticed. Do you know what I mean?
And bro, big shout outs to your fucking fans, because bro, I'll have so funny. I went on live a couple of weeks ago, and you know the funny thing about some of the fans, then my fans are different. Like fans of your shit, like they fucking like request to get in the live.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just on a fucking bender rapping to themselves in some fucking hotel room, God knows where. I had one cunt just hit me up and be like, "Oi, I fucking heard you on Fear, Rexy, you're pretty hectic, eh?" And I'm talking to some random cunt. Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, fucking mad cunt." I'm like, "What about you?" And then all of a sudden he's going to his mate, "No, it's fucking Lee Monroe, bro. He's fucking, you know, T-Wreckz." And he goes, "Fucking yeah, I know T-Wreckz. Yeah, bro, on the fucking last track he did." He's like, "Oh, what?" Look it up, and then all of a sudden these cunts are trying to school me on some, you know, bro, you know, you need to listen to him. Like, fucking tell me, bro. Who do I need to listen to? But it's mad refreshing because like of who these guys are. Like, you know, they're just mad fans of you, and then they're fucking going, and you're now fucking putting cunts onto me. Yeah, it's fucking it's the circle of life. You like that?
It is. And then, it is. It's on that Lion King shit. But fucking. But fucking no, straight up, like, bro, fuck, like I said, like, not to fucking like gas you up too much because I don't want to fucking give you a big like.
Bro, you know I've got the biggest head, cuz. Like,
that's what I mean. if I gas you up anymore, it's gonna explode. And, like, we're gonna need
and then there's gonna be more fatalities.
We're gonna need a cleanup crew in here quick, like. But like,
get the hose.
Like, bro, like I could put on fucking Fairy Tale Master. I could put on fucking a lot of your shit and sing that shit word for word, bro. I grew up listening to Big Kids, so it's like for me, it's like I'm glad that like I can put on for you, like now, like and help you in a sense, like, do you know what I mean?
Straight
I love
up,
that,
bro.
Like I love it because
and fuck no egos, bro. It's all fucking love. You fucking mad cunt, seriously.
Because you actually helped me more than you realize. Because like I grew up listening to that shit.
Yeah, true.
And like straight the fuck out, like cunts don't realize. They don't fucking realize. It's like, and like, it's like when, like I sent Young, like from Cali Swag District.
Yeah.
Because I talked to him on the regular.
Yeah.
And
I think you might have said that.
Teach me how to Dougie.
Yeah.
And shout out to Young if you're watching OFB, fucking out for bands, fucking and like. He didn't even comment on my fucking verse. Motherfucker's like, it's like, yo, bro, your boy's verse is, your boy's flow is crazy. And I'm like,
you're like, it's not about, it's about the whole track, cunt.
I'm like, yeah, but like, what about the, you know what I mean? Like, so. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's not COVID, man. Fuck. We're over that.
So fuck you for outshining me on my song, motherfucker.
Listen, bro.
I love you, bro.
I love you too, G. It's fucking always a pleasure. I'm going to say in the live now, if you got questions for the live, ask the questions. Fucking burn them down now because we're going to hit it up after. But, man, I want to bring in the little homie.
Jai,
or the big homie, Jai.
Get your ass over here, boy.
When I first saw you on fucking... Yeah, big round of applause in the studio. Yeah. Man, and like I'm gonna give props to your bro again real quick. You know, your big bro. But one thing, you know, that's really crazy to watch, right? Is you know, your bro bringing you in, and you know, it was cool, bro. Because like, you know, what's funny, and you don't really, I don't know. Because you're growing up, you know, but I'm watching you for like since you were like smaller, because you know your brother's putting you in the vids, but oh, it's my little bro, blah blah blah. Yeah. Next thing you know, I'm watching you getting your first job. Was it in the pizza joint?
Yeah. Pizza.
And, right, okay. And then, you know, what's fucking hectic is then after that, he's like, I'm coming down to shoot the clip, and then you're there, and then I'm spinning out because I'm like, I've watched you like growing up, and then now you're doing the clip. So tell me, man, how in terms of transitioning into, you know, just, you know, fucking high school, you know, doing.
Which is still in high school.
Well, there you go, yeah. But doing, you know, studying and all that sort of stuff. How's it been transitioning and getting? Oh, there you go. 2 mics. Let's go. How's it been? Oh, by the way, bro, take that hoodie. That's your hoodie. Take that hoodie. See that hoodie on the end? Yeah, that's your hoodie. My bad. That's yours, bro. All right. Even guest visitors, if you got them, you get them. How's it been transitioning? What have you learned, man? And how do you feel about the scene? And
I think definitely, like, I grew up watching like all my brother's YouTube videos, you know, like all his music.
Yep.
Like I've always been around it.
Yep.
And also watched like all these other rappers as well, like on Body Bag Media and like all these other Aussie rappers, and like, you know, Tyrone's shown me like a lot of these Aussie rappers. He introduced me to a lot of them.
That's T-Wreckz just for everyone else. But
He gets a plus. Yeah. So yeah. And but how is it now? Like, I mean, now you're pretty involved in it, man. Like,
yeah, it's definitely been like a new adventure for me, being able to actually like work with him and like work with the music. Yep. Like I've actually been really loving the day. Yeah. Like it's really good.
And what about what?
I was just gonna say, do you want to tell them what you've been doing, or like what have you been doing exactly?
Yeah. I've been getting into like good idea. The production side of things. Yep. Like I eventually want to learn like mix and mastering and that, mastering tracks. But for right now, I've been learning like the filming and editing videos and that.
Yeah. And I've been. You got some credits under your name. Yeah. You shot our clip. What's the latest one you fucking did?
Nike Fit. Yeah. That was the one that T-Wreckz done with Muzzy.
Yeah. Sick, man. It's so good to see you, man. Like, and I think that, you know, with your brother, it's been a positive experience as well, because he's such a hustle. Do you know what I mean? That, you know, you're really absorbing that hustle mentality.
Yeah, it's good being around him because he's really got like a good mindset for work.
Yep.
Like he doesn't slack off. Like, and I love that. Like, I love working with people like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I gotta give you props. Like, really though. Like.
Nah, straight up, man. It's really cool to see, because you know what, like. And your bro will tell you this, but when we're coming up, there's a negative rap for, you know, being part of hip hop and Australian hip hop, and you're starting to see like a positive side of be like, you know what? Well, I can actually, you know, get good at it, and you know, I can actually carve out a lane for myself and make some money, and you know, do it, work for yourself. You know, not like cool, work for the pizzeria, like props to the homies, but. Also understand how to make your own coin, and know that it's not just working for the man. You can get a job, but you can also have money on the side. You know, how has that been in terms of learning the ropes of like knowing that, hey, maybe one day you can be in control of you know, how much money you're possibly making.
Well, at the moment, I've been loving it to like keep us busy, and like I get to hang out like with my brother, you know. Like work. It's like work. We're earning money, and we're having like fun doing it.
Yeah, straight up. Yep.
Like,
have you met any? Is there any artists that you've been like, oh shit, there's right there, like, Fit Kid, eh? Nah, jokes.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I was waiting. I was about to just slap this little motherfucker in the back of the head. If he ain't say Fit Kid right now, aka Lee Monroe, I was about to say.
Is there anyone else though that you're like maybe you've seen on Body Bag, or that's like been around, or?
Yeah, well, definitely like a lot of people, but even artists that like aren't as noticed, as big in the scene. Yep. But like, I still like really like their music.
Super talented,
Yeah, like super talented artists that like aren't as noticed, but like
Muzzy.
Yeah, like people like even Muzzy, like being able to work.
Shout out to Muzzy.
Yeah.
And, I definitely like a lot more artists.
Yep.
Like it's fun to see, like I don't really want to say lower end, but like, you know, like
people that are like coming up, the up and comers.
Coming up, and the people that have like really
they're working
the scene right now.
Yep.
It's good to see like a bit of both. Like,
it's straight up, man, and it's good to be involved at that time as well, because if you're there at those early stages of growth, and you're already known by them, like, yeah, you know, like I worked on this clip, or you know, I'm, you know, I'm T-Wreckz little bro. Like, you know, it's Jai. And they already know you by association.
Grxnd. That's it, Grxnd.
Yeah. Is it actual? Is it?
Yeah, it's Grxnd.
Right. Yeah. All right.
You got to watch more videos, bro, because you see the
I think
credits.
I did see that in a comment under one of his. I'm waiting for him to fucking do something. I'm waiting for a verse or something like that. Do you rap as well?
I've always thought about it. In the past, I have
spat a few bars.
Yeah.
Murdered a few cats on the corner.
Yeah. No, I got to tell you. Right.
Here we go.
So, my other little brother.
Yeah.
Phoenix, young letter.
Yeah.
I did a song with him. I helped produce that. Yeah, that's dope.
I remember that.
He's only 10 years old.
That's crazy though.
Anyways, well, when Jai was like his age, and I was trying to rap, like I was rapping, but like didn't have the skill set that I have now.
Yep.
It just didn't work out, and I was like, take it. I took young letter to Body Bag to shoot the clip, and like in the Body Bag studio, Body Bag Media, and that, and I was like looking at Jai, and I was like, oh fuck, I feel really bad, like, you know what I mean, like you're getting left out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was pitching it to him, like I was like, why don't you get into like the production side of things and that? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm not sure. And then it's like, well, I'm fucking doing it now anyways, and you know what I mean? You can
just
learn
be there
with
anyway.
me, and now that's happened. He's like, I can see he's got a whole new like aspect to it, like he's got a drive for it now, and it's like, yeah, I feel like. Yeah,
it's coming up, and you can see it as well, bro, because you look like you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, sick. And do you have a plan? Like, what's your plan? Just stick to it. You think you're gonna study something to do with it, or what?
Definitely just keep learning more, because I feel like every video that we do, and like even like the people that we work with, like we're learning more like every day.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, and every day like we're always like thinking of like new ideas or where we can go further with it.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
I remember as well, it was pretty dope when we did our clip, and then, you know, we thought we finished the clip, and then we cut another edit with little special effects there, like, and we were like, yo.
Yeah, that little edit made it just pop right out. Yeah.
100%,
and
man.
Even now, I was saying about earlier, like even now, with the skill set we have now, even with the amount that we've learned since we've done that clip, like, we could make it even better.
Yeah, we could have utilised what we know now on...
Yeah,
fear.
Exactly. Yeah,
more.
Like we've already.
Hey, trust me. There's more music coming. Yeah, so you know, you keep an eye out.
That clip helped us learn like what we know now.
100%, man.
Like that.
So what's your tell the homies that are watching, what's your Instagram handle, because you got to get the followers.
I'm pretty sure it's Jai_Berry.
Yep.
Yeah, JAI.
Yeah.
Yeah, _BERRY.
Done. Got to get it up.
And he's actually the co-founder of HRO Productions, which is the production company that we're running.
Yeah.
So any artists that we reach out with, or that we work or we produce or anything like that, they all get plugged on that page.
HRO,
yep. So go follow that, and he's in control of that as well. We both vary between who does the posts and stuff on there, but yeah, he has control over that as well. So
yeah, dope. Now, this lastly as well, who you watching at the minute, like artist-wise? Is there anyone in Australia that's really pushing you, keeping you inspired, or it's pretty much like, and this is sort of the both of you, like, or any like clips that you're watching particularly, or is it pretty much in-house, just focusing on your own shit?
I've got one in mind, but I'll let him go first.
I don't know. I'm the type of person that likes to listen to, like, once I like a track, I listen to it for a long time, for like months afterwards. Pick it apart. I'll go off it for a bit and then go back to it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not the type of person that keeps up to date with all the new music.
Yeah, but like you're definitely watching videos now, and you're watching. I'm definitely watching. So like when he watches, he comes to me and he's like, oh yeah, like I was watching this video and like I've got a cool idea now. I want to, you know what I mean? So now it's not just like listening to the music. It's like
watching a whole.
He's watching the whole visual and shit. But yeah, like
it's funny as well, because you know, like when you're watching it when you're younger, you don't see that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you wake up, you're like, oh shit, and then you're like, oh wait, now I want to do a shot like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, especially when you're like getting into that whole side of like, you know, like doing it yourself.
Yeah.
You realize, oh man, I could do that. Like, you know what I mean? But like, there's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not easy. You can't just, like I said, the first clip that I did, like tried to do, Gunster was like, yeah, that was pretty awful. So Like, you know what I mean?
But you know what, bro? Fuck, props to you boys as well, because the one thing is a lot of people, especially in this country, because like we're fucking privileged as shit and we're very comfortable. When people get a no, they're like, "Oh, fuck this rap. I'm not gonna do this rap anymore." Whereas when you get a no, you'll be like, "You know what? I'm coming back next week and I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna come back with something hectic."
I think we got it in the bag now. Yeah.
In the body bag? Pun intended? Nah, own bag.
I reckon.
Ziploc bag?
Yeah, we've got it in the bag, 100%. Yeah.
All right. Who was your person you keeping an eye on?
To be honest, like, I seen a dope clip from Hobson, which I thought was sick because it was like so like. I don't want to say it like it was like it was a basic idea.
Oh wait, I think I've seen it. Was that in the Bali Villa?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was like literally him walking
or
around.
Thailand Villa. Yeah.
But like the effects that he did in the like the
and the timing of the shit that he did. Yeah, like, it was all part of the verse.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it was COVID Mansion.
Yes.
And like literally like I can see how he's done that. It's like literally all it was him filming, him walking through and all the right timing, and then having the right effects,
props
like,
and shit there.
Yeah, that and like I think we can do that sort of shit.
Holy shit, bro! It's gonna come up with a lot of organisation.
Yeah,
Bag's not organising.
That's all good.
I'm not that organisation guy. All right, we'll hit some questions. Have we got questions, Eski? Wait, do you have a mic?
Yeah, we've got questions.
All right, let's go.
The first question is pretty controversial, I guess. Thoughts on what's going on in America right now?
Is that directed at me? You?
Yeah, bro. No, like I think people want to hear what you want to say.
Like what with the whole police brutality thing. Look, to be quite honest, I don't think it's just happening in America. It's happening fucking everywhere. Like like the reality is. It's putrid, it's disgusting, and these people that are supposed to have the power to protect us are abusing it, and it's not just happening in America. And I mean, like, it's sad that something like this has to happen where, you know, it's all over the media where this poor man's died and it's fucking bullshit. But unfortunately it takes something like this for everyone to realise that that's what's fucking going on.
Yeah, straight up.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not just happening in America. It's happening here now.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
you see that kid get like, I forgot his name, but he got face planted. That cop like fucking basically swept him. That shit happens all the time.
Bro, when I got raided, I had fucking guns pulled on my head. Fucking, I was already on the ground and they're like kneeing me and fucking doing all sorts of shit and fucking stop resistance. So I'm like, fuck, bro, I'm on the fucking ground. Am I resisting? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happens way too much, and it's not just happening in America, but I feel like definitely as a community and as like I feel like until it gets swept under the rug by you know the majority of the community and majority of the working class citizens and stuff, it gets swept under the rug. But until it starts impeding and infecting people's lives, like say for instance a politician's kid that gets caught loitering or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like it's just going to keep happening until we make a stand and we, obviously fucking address the issue properly and get it fucking sorted, because it's bullshit.
I think I'm sort of glad it's gone global just because
it needed to go global.
It had to go global. I think that and it's hard because a lot of people, again, I feel like we're in a real privileged country, and like our disgusting history, I don't like talking about it too much because it just causes all these fucking sub arguments.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that I fucking really understand is like, I don't know what it's like to fucking wake up black, and I tell people this story, and I actually had this conversation with Jeff in the car, but it's not, a lot of people get their fucking back up because they think it's like, yo, when people of color start saying Black Lives Matter, they start to think it's black versus white, and it's not. It's black versus a systematic fucking system that has been put in place to keep, people of color, most particularly in a box, and they suffer fucking crazily. But there was actually this story where
I feel like it's people of minority too. It's not even just black
that's
people.
right.
It's like
people of color as well is like that can be any color
exactly
really, as well.
I know, but exactly, yeah, white, black, yellow,
brown. But the thing is like there was one instance where I caught a cab with Tyson, actually, who was on the show last week, and we actually like the funny thing is these are little idiosyncratic things that like black people have to deal with every day in terms of systematic racism. But I stepped out and went to catch a cab. Now, as a joke between the boys, it's like I hailed a cab because I'm the white guy. That's fucked up. And between the boys, it's like that's fucked up. And when we got in the car, we actually started talking about it to the fucking driver, who, mind you, is Indian.
I was about to say.
So he's brown, right?
Yeah.
So it becomes then the conversation is actually people of color going against a system that is racist.
Yeah.
Because the person that had the racist fucking mentality was actually a brown person. It's not him. It's the system that fucking breeds the issue.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it's fucked up. So what else? Shit, that's a deep one.
Yeah.
We could go. That's another podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast.
T-Wreckz, any future plans, albums, tapes?
So yeah, no. As far as albums go, if my fans want me to drop an album, get me to fucking at least 20k subscribers on YouTube or something like that. But I'm thinking of maybe dropping like maybe like an online mixtape and maybe doing like a run of maybe like, I don't know, 50 or 100 hard copies just to send out to whoever wants them. But as far as like an album goes, I feel like your debut album is a very special moment. And,
straight up.
And I don't want to jump the gun. I know I've got a lot of fans waiting for it, and shout outs to everyone that's been very patient. But that's why I've been dropping a lot of songs and a lot of content lately, just to try and build the platform and to build, the fan base, so that I'm at a point where when I do drop my debut album, it lives up to the expectation of what I want it to do, and like I want it to be right. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be something that's just like, okay, I'm going to put an album out for the sake of putting an album out. I need to get to a point where it's like, I'm popping. I know I'm popping at the moment, but like I need to be like at a certain level before I can consider dropping a proper album and having it in stores and all that sort of stuff. Because for me, a debut album, you only get one of those.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
You may not be able to go back on that one, sir.
Yeah,
so remember that shit.
Yeah. So that's it. So I've for my fans that are tuning in and watching my music and following me and fucking with it all.
Yep.
I've got plenty of music on the way. That's not going to slow. That's not going to stop.
Yeah.
But the album isn't.
It's got to be curated, bro.
Yeah, but the album isn't really anything that I'm even considering doing at the moment. I've got a mixtape that I've had ready. I've got the artwork all done that I've been sitting on for over 2 years now.
God damn.
Yeah, but
get that shit out.
I know I need to get that shit out. Yeah, fucking. But at the moment, it's not a priority. My priority is content and getting the content out for the viewers. So that's just about it, really.
100%. Any more?
Who do you want to collab with most?
Who do I want to collab with most?
Yeah.
MGK. Yeah,
really?
I love MGK or Russ. Probably Russ.
That's a weird one.
MGK. I like Russ and I like
MGK's been going a bit
actually
different lately.
So out of my top 3 would be G-Eazy and MGK and Russ.
This is always crazy to me because they're very musical, more, you're very rap. And they're very...
But I can do that shit too.
Bro, I already know because you send me shit that's not fucking coming out or not come out yet. And so I know.
Yeah, but I fuck with their shit. So like when I vibe with something like the way I do with their sort of music, it's like... Okay, so if you listen to MGK, there's not one song that sounds the same.
Yeah.
And if you listen to my music, there's very hardly any songs that sound the same.
Yeah.
They've all got their own vibe. But yeah, they would be my top 3 that I'd want to collab with.
So dope. That's hectic. Any more?
One more.
One
more.
Yeah.
It's more of a comment, but your last few tracks have been great. A shout out from Jared. What's the difference between your last few tracks that you released and the ones that you probably did way back in the future?
Sorry, what was that?
So like, how do you feel your tracks now are different to the ones you've done
in the past? In the future.
Yeah. So the ones that I've dropped recently, how are they different to the ones that I'm gonna drop in the future? Everything's different, man. Like it depends. I've got. Let me just say this: the tracks that I'm sitting on, that I'm waiting to get back, because obviously I've said I do my mixing and mastering. There's a couple tracks that I've left in the hands of people that are a bit more professional than I am with it, because I want it to sound really, really good.
True. Yeah.
They are completely different to anything that I've done. So I feel like that it's going to surprise a lot of people. Yep. I don't know if I'm going to get backlash from it, because it's not like the typical T-Wreckz style of music. But yeah, definitely there's going to be a whole range of different sounds coming. Yeah.
Hectic.
Definitely.
Yeah, I heard some as well. It's hectic.
Squeeze in one more.
Yo.
Izzy just jumped on.
Yeah.
Just goes, hey, what up? Shout out to Lee and Rex and
yeah.
Jai.
Yeah, shout out to Izzy. If you just jumped on, you missed all the props we gave you before. We're saying how you're a sick cunt and fucking and yeah,
sick cunt status put on your Izzy hard.
Yeah.
Hectic. That's it. My man.
My motherfucking man.
Bro.
Love
much
you, brother.
love. It's
love
fucking
you, bro.
good to see you. Jai, always a pleasure.
Shout outs Godzilla podcast for having us through.
Yeah, sick.
Shout outs Fago.
Sip Supplies.
Sip Supplies. That's what it is.
So make sure you follow them up.
I'm jacking these, by the way. They're coming with me.
But that's for you.
Make sure I try them.
This shit's for you. I've got to take some home to Mackenzie, but we'll split it. Man, big shout outs. Thanks for everyone that tuned in. Big shout out to Open Source, Molotov. Make sure you check out the highlights. Fucking subscribe. And also, if you can, follow the Instagram as well. I'm trying to check the numbers, baby.
I just want to give a couple shout outs too. Shout outs One Lane. Shout outs Gunster.
Yep.
Shout outs Tycotic. Shout outs anyone that's been with me on this journey, and all my fans that are showing me love, because without yous I'd be just fucking a bedroom rapper.
Sick.
So much love, eh?
Done.